Hi everybody from brutally hot Central Portugal. We're in the midst of heat wave and it's crushing my soul. But I'm very fortunate to have this splash pool. I honestly have no idea how I survived last year without it because I'm basically jumping in it constantly to cool down. I'm floating around on the ring in there, having little snoozes. It's pretty amazing and I love it. And speaking of splash pool, I have a video for you today all about the pool. This isn't a video I was expecting to make. I was expecting to have a little section about pool maintenance as part of another video, but things didn't go quite as planned and everything took a lot longer than I expected. So I ended up putting it all into one video about the wonderful world of pool maintenance, but really it's mostly about problem solving and frustration on my part. So have a watch, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again at the end. So the splash pool is green. It took about 8 or 9 days to get there. Probably lasted about a week, being fine to swim in. And then when I stopped covering it up with the tarp, it basically went super green pretty quickly with the sun on it. But fear not, I have some solutions. The first one is keeping it covered more regularly with the tarp. It's not going to be such a pain in the neck to use. The second one will be running the pump regularly, keeping the water circulating and moving. The third one is chemicals. I bought this chemical thing and I'm gonna just stick it in the pool and see how that does. The idea being that if I can find some solution to keep the pool clean for the whole season, I'll only be emptying the chemicals into the land one time and I'm okay with that. But for the moment, I'm gonna empty this tank. I'm gonna scrub the green stuff out of there. I'm gonna clean the pool and then I'm gonna refill it tomorrow. But before I empty the tank, I want to show you something that I found interesting and maybe you will as well, and I'm going to do a little experiment. So let's go take a look at that. Hello there, little buddy. I didn't see you sneaking up underneath my feet. You just chilling, having a little snooze. You've got the right idea. So in order to show you what I need to do for my experiments, I'm going in. Woo! Chilly. So you'll notice a lot of green. I really need to get this rendered ASAP. So lots of green in this tank, but not a lot of green over in this little basin. And this area stays shaded. So no sun really hits this part, and you can see it's perfectly clear. No algae growing in here. So that's really, really good news. And so my experiment will be to stick a plug into this basin on this side. I'll remove this pipe, which isn't serving any purpose at the moment. Plug it up, and then I'm going to see how high this basin will fill. So if this basin fills up pretty high, I could just have an overflow that then goes into this tank so that this is always full and always algae free. I don't know why. It's probably just a good thing to have, a nice clean full basin of beautiful spring water. Perhaps I could also use this reservoir to then cycle the water through to the pool, and then that overflow then comes in here so that the pump instead sits in this basin, pumping at a rate that's not faster than the spring is filling it, so that only spring water goes in here and then the overflow comes out. I don't know. Just crazy enough to work? We'll see. Oh, so slimy. Okay, hopefully this fits. It's the same pipe as the swimming pool, but it's got kind of a weird corner situation happening here. Oh no, it's too big. Maybe a hammer will help. When in doubt, hammer. So the hammer has failed me this time, but I feel like once the tank is empty, I'll be able to chip off a little bit of the render around the pipe that's sort of blocking it, making it smaller. Or I have another idea, which involves another experiment. So on the inside of the pool, there's one of those white plugs, but I also have that plug that I made out of wood on the outside. So let's take the wooden plug out, see if it fits there, see if the white plug holds the water in this pool, and I'll be solving lots of mysteries. Hopefully I can get this out. I hammered it in with some pretty serious force, which maybe was a mistake. It's in there pretty tightly. Hammer. So that's not budging, even with swampy hammer power. So I have a new plan. I'm gonna take the plug out of the pool, get a stick, and then try to hammer it out from the inside. Unfortunately though, I also hammered the white plug into the pipe from the inside, so hopefully that's not impossible to get out as well. I could have made some very horrible mistakes. I'm definitely making this a lot more complicated than I was expecting. I'm not going in that pool to get that plug out, so I'm gonna transfer the pump into the pool, empty the water most of the way, and then once it's a reasonable depth, I'll get back in there and try to get that other plug out. So a little bit of excitement, a little bit of challenges that I wasn't expecting, and I'm just kind of curious to see how this all goes. Come over here. In theory, I could move this pump over and pump a lot more quickly, but this pump is sort of fastened into hoses. I'd have to lay a whole bunch of different hoses to be able to access that other tank, which maybe I'll do eventually, but it's not a job for today. So yeah, I'm gonna water my trees with the water in here and the water that's going in, and be back up to see what I can do about these plugs. So I'll see you soon from the kind of annoying swimming pool that is causing me a lot more work than I was expecting this evening, but I do like a challenge, so it's all good. The pool's been draining for at least a couple hours. It's taking a while, but it's now at a level where I'm not terrified to get in there. I've already been in there also scrubbing as I go. As the water level fell, I went in with the brush and gave it a clean. So I'm gonna try to get the plug out and try to whack the other plug out with this piece of wood and a hammer. Let's see how it goes. That was easy enough. That's good news. So let's try this method to see if I can get this plug out from the other side. Thing does not want to budge. I think I made a horrible mistake. Unsuccessful. This has already taken up about 2 hours more of my time than I was expecting it to. So I guess I'll just let this drain a little bit more, empty this front tank, clean it out, and see if I can bash this pipe out somehow when there's no water in here. Saw it out, drill it out, whatever I have to do. Yeah, lesson learned. Don't aggressively bash a wooden thing into a plug because the wood obviously expands with the water. So I was a fool, but you know, learn these things the hard way, and I'll be able to get it out. I've got a hammer. I'll be able to make it work. So I guess I'll be back down here in a little while. So it's getting dark and I'm getting frustrated. I've had to try to bucket the last remnants of water out. This thing is not going to cut it, so I'm going to try this. I don't have anything long and metal suitable. I don't think the crowbar would fit in properly, although maybe I'll try it later. But let's see if this works, fingers crossed. If not, I'll probably just give up and figure it out another time. I don't really remember the reasons why I wanted to get this done tonight, but I do have reasons. I have a feeling that it's more likely that I get the chisel stuck in this than actually get the thing out. Oh. Yeah, that's too scary. Let's try this wooden piece again. 75th time lucky, perhaps. So that didn't work, but I just remembered I have this. So this is going to be my last attempt. And then if it doesn't work, I'll give up. I'll go have dinner. I won't worry about it. I'll deal with it tomorrow. All right. But I really would like to get it out now. Okay, it's taking off the bark. It's very slippery. Come on, don't let me down. I have really got this thing in there. Fail, but I have learned a good lesson. Don't bash things in too much with a hammer. So good night from the algae water tank. Tomorrow we'll be in there filling it back up. I'll get the octopus chemical thing out. I'll make a tarp for the cover that doesn't suck. And I had some other thing that I completely forget now, but tomorrow we will discover it together. So I'll see you then. It's a new morning and I'm feeling very refreshed after yesterday's swimming pool plug fiasco. The tank is empty, the pool is empty. I've got some secret weapons to keep it clean, and I'm basically just gonna clean the pool out, fill it up, and try to see if I can get this plug out. So I've got a little bit of cleaning to do, not as much as I was expecting, which is great. And then quite a bit of cleaning to do over here, but that's just a matter of sweeping it with the broom. So before I get in there and start cleaning, let me introduce you to my secret weapons. First is a tarp that's not super huge, so hopefully it won't be annoying to put it on and take it off, and hopefully I'll actually use it. And I also have this thing, which is a little floaty plastic thing filled with some sorts of chemicals, chlorine and some other things. It's more of an experiment to figure out what's going to keep this thing not green. I don't know, I just kind of panicked in the store. There's a million things that you can buy, and this seemed the easiest. The guy was giving me all kinds of lessons and stuff. There's loads and loads of gigantic boxes of tablets that cost like 40 euros, and so I didn't really want to invest in something without being sure what's going to work. And I didn't know what was going to work without doing a pH test. So the guy gave me this, and this will tell me the pH of my water, and something else over here, which I have no idea what it is, but all this information will allow me to then buy the correct tablets if and when that's what I decide to do next year. For the moment, this is just an emergency measure for this year to keep me swimming in August, and I'll figure out a better solution next year based on the pH of the water and all that stuff that I don't know anything about yet. People have given me great suggestions in my comments in my pool finale video, which I'll go through, but for the moment I just went into the shop. There was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of overwhelm, so I ended up with this little thing, and we'll give it a try. So I've got a lot of cleaning to do, and then we'll fill it up, and I'm excited to be back in there because it's going to be another hot day today. Seems like a very awkward place to sit. I think you're probably hunting for frogs. I know your game. Oh, no, you leave him alone. You leave him alone. Go on, little frog. Go on, be free. You leave him alone. You stay. I see what you're after now. I don't think you want to go in there. I don't think you want to walk on that. Stay where you are. Anyway, the frog has disappeared down the hole, so hopefully he's gonna be okay. Okay, I'm going to carry on with the cleaning of the tank and the pool. He's going to carry on continuing to be cute, and I'll see you very soon. The pool is still dirty. The main tank is clean to a dubious standard, and I figure it's going to be easier to clean the pool if I can get this thing out. So I've got a selection of tools, and I'm going to see if I can, I don't know, bash this thing out now that it's not underwater at the moment. So wish me luck. Don't know what the strategy was there. My new plan is just to saw it off and then try to drill it out, I guess. Oh well. Okay, time for the drill. Maybe this bad boy. Maybe a smaller bit to start is wiser. Let's go back to this guy. Okay, I think I'm through, and I think I'm just hitting the cloth now. Oh, no, there's more. Holy smokes. I don't like this one. Back to the baby. Oh. I really can't believe how difficult this is proving. Oh, there we go. Oh, man. Holy smokes. Such a small, stupid thing. It's crazy to me how long this is taking. It's kind of frustrating, but it's a good example of this sort of lifestyle where there's often things that you think are just going to take 10 or 15 minutes, and they could turn into a multi-day drama because of some little thing, because of a missing part, because of a broken piece, because of plans that didn't go the way you were expecting. And this is definitely one of those examples. I've been working on this for quite a while, at least 2 or 3 hours in total, just to get this plug out. And my intention was to come down and pull it out. So, you know, a 1-minute job, a 10-second job has turned into a 3-hour job. So that's okay. Roll with the punches. This thing will get out eventually, and very soon I'll reward myself with a bit of a splash. So I'm going to check in again when I have a working drain hole, and I will be so happy. So hopefully I'll see you very soon. Ooh, I just had a thought. It's too late now because of things shredded to pieces, but perhaps this was the right tool for the job. Anyway, I'll try it next time I get a piece of wood stuck in a drain. I'm back. It hasn't been long since last we spoke, but I think now perhaps this method is going to get it out. So let's give it a little bashy bash and see what happens. It's moving. Yay! Oh wow, I really bashed that in there. Woohoo! It's out, finally. That was a mission and surprisingly exhausting. So I'm very happy that's done, and I'm gonna move on to cleaning the pool. So I will check back in again when I'm on to some next stage that's still to be determined. First, I think though I might go drink some water and have a little break, because who knew that trying to get a plug out could be so tiring. Okay, the pool's clean. Time to fill it up. So it's going to be interesting to see if this will actually hold the water, or if it was the wood on the other side that was doing the heavy lifting. Just give it a little gentle tap. I have learned my lesson, and yeah, monitor the situation. I'm filling the pool from both IBC tanks at the same time. They're both about 90% full, so I'll be able to monitor how much water leaves the tanks, and therefore I'll be able to see how much water this thing holds roughly, which is important for future chlorination and other things. This is mildly concerning. Some water coming out there. So, let me put this other plug in, and hopefully that'll solve the problem. Hanging out with these bear guys. It's a good spot. Sorry I disturbed you, as you were. Okay, well, since you're awake, you're too cute not to disturb. Okay, enjoy the rest of your snooze. I'll leave you alone. Okay, the pool is full. That tank is empty. This tank is empty. And the pool's full. This took about an hour to fill up. And it does already have a green tinge, which is probably because the water that I'm using came from the super algae-y water tank over there. So let's get this octopus thing floating around and see if it does anything. So I think I turned this thing to adjust the release, or I guess just the number of holes. I'm gonna have a read of this. I'm gonna get Google Translate, and I'm gonna have a read of this, and then I guess I'll send it for a swim. So it's all pretty straightforward. My pool is very small, so I'll put it on low. But before I fill the pool with the chemicals from the floaty octopus thing, I want to test the pH. So I've got this little kit, I've got the droppers. Let's fill this with water and see what it tells me. I'm quite curious. So I filled it up more or less to the line. The instructions say 6 drops of this stuff. Shake it all around. So it doesn't say how long to wait, so I'm going to guess that the results are instantaneous. And so now I have to match up the color. I have no idea. It's kind of tricky. I'm going to say the pH is closer to the high side. It's definitely a lot redder than the ideal range. I truly have no idea. It's difficult. I'd say it's kind of close to the 7.8. What that means in the grand scheme of things, I do not know. I'll go look it up online, but I have my pH reading, at least roughly. It's definitely not low. It's on the higher side. Again, no idea what that means, but I will do some research. So this yellow thing and the yellow side is to test the chlorine level, which I don't have. That's what this is about. So let's go stick this guy in there, and I'll return later on to see what the pool looks like. I have this thing set at the lowest level, so let's see what happens. Bye, little guy. Enjoy your swim. So let's see what this octopus thing does. I also made a tarp to cover the pool that's not going to be quite as awful to use. So I'll get that covered, I think, as well. Yeah, it's all just a learning experience. It's all really interesting to me. I'll report back in a few days to let you know what's happening with the water. Ooh, this looks very positive. Very positive indeed. That's looking nice and clear. Good job, little octopus thing. So, I didn't actually get in here today. I got busy with some other stuff, but tomorrow I will happily get in this nice clear water. So, I'm impressed. I'll just put this rock there to keep it covered from the sun, which I think is another important element of this whole operation. And I'll see you guys soon. Hello, it's around 3 in the afternoon. I'm feeling disgusting. I've been working inside on this corner project that will come in a video very soon. It's dusty, it's dirty, it's grimy, there's spiders, and I've got lime all over me. So I definitely need to hose off before I consider going in the pool. But considering it, I'm going to be in there very soon. But before I do, I have to do one more thing that should be hopefully a simple fix if I have the right parts. So I'm looking for a specific push fit fitting. Oh, just as an aside, this has been kind of sitting in the sun, and look at how brittle this is. So it's basically been smashed to pieces. The power of the sun. I really shouldn't have this stuff sitting right here. So what I want to do is basically find an elbow so that I can have my overflow from the pool not going into the tank below, because the pool has chemicals in it now, and I would definitely prefer not to have the chemicals going into the rest of my tank, so I'm just going to steer it off to the side. So I'll add the elbow onto the overflow pipe down there, find a short piece of pipe, and then we'll take a peek under there and see what's happening. Will you be too long? That should be fine. Just want to steer it off to the side. I'll probably move this blue tarp and just have it come into a puddle here. It's not like it's going to be a huge amount of water, but I just don't want it going into there. Oh, it's hot. I feel gross. But I'm very happy to have the pool. So, hopefully this is just a simple little fix. Hopefully I don't have a repeat of the drain situation where it's more difficult than I expect. These push fit fittings really are quite wonderful, especially for beginner plumber types. I had no experience hooking together pipes or thinking about water systems or anything like that, and this push fit system really does make everything very easy and user friendly. I'm missing a piece for that. That's what I need. I'm so happy with how clear this water looks now after I gave this tank a scrub. If I want to keep this algae free, I really do need to cover it, but it's quite a big space. I see a future vision of perhaps a patio built over all or a portion of this. There's no need that it needs to be open like this, and it would give me some extra hangout space, which could be pretty interesting. Anyway, got the piece. Let's stick this thing together. So that goes on there. Which direction does it go? This way. Goes on there. Goes up there. Whew. Okay, so now, in theory, any water that splashes through the overflow will just be directed off to the side there. Let's test it out. Success! I love an easy win, especially when I'm already tired. In a perfect world, I would actually connect this overflow to the overflow there, and send the water far away down the land. It's already connected to do that. It doesn't go anywhere at the moment, just into the middle of a grassy patch, but that's definitely a lot better than just making a puddle here. But it's not just going to be a massive amount of water anyway, so I'm okay with this very temporary solution. So let's uncover the pool, see what's happening in there. Alright, it looks really good in here. This tarp is a definite improvement, a lot easier to remove. So this little thing seems to be doing its job. Good job, little octopus. And you can definitely smell a little bit of chlorine, but it's nothing crazy at all. It's really, really mild. So it's looking really good. I'm very happy. And there's just one more very important addition. And now I'm ready for a swim. So I really wasn't expecting to make a pool maintenance video. I had no idea this process would be so involved and take so long and be so challenging. But it was, and I hope some people out there found it interesting. So I'm gonna say bye. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this day probably floating around in this pool. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments? Just want to say hi. Leave me a message below, and I'll see you in the next video.